revenue grew 17%. On the software license, subscription license is at about 90% of the total revenue. So in this current crisis, double-digit growth is still, we think, a good news. The revenue is slightly slower on the total year due to service mainly, which is a small part of our revenue. On the EPS will be basically at plan or above plan as we confirm the full year plan. This is essentially driven by our strong dynamic in life science and healthcare. As you may have heard with Dassault Systemes Medidata platform, about 60 to 70% of the current clinical trial on the COVID vaccine are based on Dassault Systemes Medidata platform. So, of course, this is compensating the dynamic of the slowdown in manufacturing, while in manufacturing we see a lot of projects on innovation. That's basically the landscape on the edging between the different sectors of the economy.
Bernard, you and I and Jeff and Karen have spent years talking about your business model as well. And I just think, is there anything about your business model you would have changed going into COVID? I think a lot of it does suit, dare I say it, a work from home, digitized acceleration environment as well. But is there anything that you actually now think we need to go in this direction or change how we do our business because of what's happened over the last year?
Well, it happened that most of our clients using the collaborative innovation platform called 3D Experience are indeed working from home. Most of them in engineering, preparation of manufacturing, optimization of even plants remotely. So this is fully in operations for most of our clients, which basically explain the value of our business models, which is a subscription-based business model. Again, 83%, of the total revenue of Dassault Systèmes is subscription-based. So no, we would not have changed the model. In fact, the model is prepared for the future. And the fact that we can have cloud solutions, web-based applications for sophisticated things like engineering innovation is, I think, what makes us unique in this market.
Yeah, and it's fascinating. I'm going to go back into ancient history here, Ben. I remember you and I doing a panel in Davos, a workshop like 07, 08, where we discussed how people can work as satellite units. I think people called it the Al-Qaeda model then as well. And that was like us going back 12, 13 years. And obviously that's now come to fruition that people are working more independently in satellite operations as well. So in terms of the growth drivers going forward, why don't you expand on this metadata story a little bit as well? Because I find that very interesting. I don't know a huge amount about it, but patient-facing video visits as well, again, just fits into the zeitgeist.
Yep. Medidata is a platform for clinical trial. And Dassault Systems has always been investing in modeling and simulation. So we are basically connecting in the innovation process, modeling and simulation for life science, for what we call virtual twin experience of a human, including at the level of the cells, the human cells, connecting this to the clinical trial. In fact, the growth of Dassault Systems this year after this acquisition last year, about 6 billion acquisition last November, puts us as probably the #1 player in the healthcare innovation platform, serving clients like Johnson & Johnson, Abbott, and many others around the world. So we are applying the technology and the techniques we did to develop airplanes and cars in the virtual world to the world of life science and healthcare and biologics. And many of the announcements today that we're doing and we're going to talk about are really illustrating that this indeed, with the current crisis, the current COVID crisis, is accelerating the digitalization in that gigantic sector of the economy. And it's needed.
We were just running, I think your company supplied footage of what could potentially happen. It looks quite extraordinary. But does this have and again, excuse my ignorance for asking, but does it have COVID-type applications, or will this just run in parallel, boosting healthcare research at the same time, but not actually having COVID applications?
Well, currently, as I said, about over 60% of the COVID clinical trial with clients like Moderna and others are really based on Dassault Systems Medidata platform. In this context, what you have is you have passion connected online to the platform, and they can share with the practitioner real time through live conferences like the one today that we have together, their feelings, how the therapeutic is working, and we do this now with what is called My Medidata Live, which, by the way, was announced a few weeks ago and is in operation in many of those COVID-related clinical trials. And from that standpoint, we really are the center of this battle, helping those companies improve the efficacy on calibrate the efficacy versus the risk with the new type of vaccines that the world needs today.